Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where currently we have a couple of issues here. We have a revolution to preserve charity hospitals. We're going to try to enact public health insurance still. We've not been rolling well on that, so we may end up having to give that up. As far as this coup goes, it says that the approval of the armed forces is currently less than 0. It's currently exactly 0 from what I can tell, although it might be minus 0.14. So we're going to tick forward. We'll keep an eye on this coup, but the coup is not actually the worst thing in the world. So it'll be interesting to see how the coup works. We've not been couped before. I'm not going to take too many steps to prevent the coup. General accused of plot popped up here, but then immediately disappeared. Okay, now we've got a third opinion. This is debating again. Armed forces minus 10% interest group pop attraction is kind of interesting. Squelching the armed services is definitely something I'm in favor of. We'll keep an eye on the revolution. If we have to bail on enacting public health insurance, we will. I will not allow this revolution to happen. Pasteurization has been unlocked, which is great. We can definitely hop into here. That does not give us anything in food industries, and I don't think it gives us anything in urban at all. But in the rural areas, of course, we can go to refrigerated storage, which would be very beneficial for us. We can also go to refrigerated rail cars, but we're already on that. So I'm just going to do that just to get that to go away. Same thing here. Refrigerated rail cars are better. So we're going to stick with that for now. Phenomenal. Our railways in eastern Afghanistan are going to be finishing shortly. That's great. For now, this revolution is technically not able to fire, although events could make it fire at 85 radicalism. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see how that ends up going. We've rolled very poorly on enacting public health insurance thus far. This doesn't look as bad as it actually is, but we have rolled quite poorly on it. Heavy-handedness. Gerard Colebrook is the president. Minus 5%, minus 10% interest group attraction, and minus 25 popularity. The coup is currently expected to lose progress. Okay, the approval of the armed forces did drop below 0. That's perfect. I'm still going to say Gerard Colebrook should stand down. Very odd that the president is currently leading a revolution, but whatever. Actually, no, the president is planning a coup against himself? Hang on. Yeah, so the president was planning a coup against himself to replace himself with a council. Okay, that's an interesting choice. I'm not sure what to make of that one. That's very strange. We're currently running a small deficit, of course, and it's not the end of the world. Our military wages being up is problematic. We need the coup to go away, though. So the coup will go away, and we'll cut our military wages. That will be the plan there. The revolution is not actually proceeding all that well for them, possibly because they've realized that they are coupping themselves. It's the armed forces who are in charge, right? Like, I don't know what they're planning on doing here. The Independent Agriculture Party has been formed. That's fine. How are we doing in here? We've got some market access issues, and electricity and oil are considered expensive. I would like to do something about that electricity situation. Oil is deeply unsurprising to me. Over here in Kashmir, we could actually build power plants very, very effectively. I'm okay with that. Let's build 51 in Kashmir. There we go. Phenomenal. So we'll get those underway. That'll take about 30 weeks. Oil we can't really do without expansion, and of course, we're still pretty high on our infamy. We'll need to deal with that. Our radicalism is still ticking downwards, and our loyalists are ticking upwards. That is excellent. I'm very, very happy to see that. We've also got an election coming in 160 days that the communists are currently expected to win. The process, or rather the procession of provocations. It's a 50-50. Lower strata pops becoming more radical. Okay, it did drop. The radicalism is going to be slightly... It'll go away. The radicalism will go away over time. So I'm reasonably content with this right now. The coup is losing progress. The revolution is kind of spinning its wheels at this moment. Urbanize the British Republic has been finished. Okay. The coup's progress will retreat by 15%. We would get widespread protests. And the industrialists would get interest group political strength. We'll actually take the radicalism here. Well, no, the industrialists are going to get it any way we slice it. Losing the authority and the legitimacy. That would bump us down below legitimate government. So we don't want that. We're going to have to take some radicalism here. But we do have winds of change. Loyalists from standard of living increases. Do it. In Oman? Sounds good. That'll be fantastic. We need the coup to go away at this point. And what is the coup progress right now? 30? And what's it dropping by? Like 5? I'm not sure. For now, that's fine, though. I do want to check in on the status of infrastructure. So, we know that we're getting 25 each. We're building 3 in Western Afghanistan right now. Okay, we'll build 3 in Niger as well. So that'll be fine. Where are the ones in Western Afghanistan? Are those in private construction? They must be. And we'll cancel these government administrations. They are unnecessary. Beautiful. So that all looks good for the time being. So we're going to get all of that construction underway, right? We need 24 weeks until our power plants are done. This revolution is very much spinning its wheels. Also spinning its wheels is public health insurance, but we did advance to study. So that's good. Hopefully we'll get this passed before the revolution happens. Remember that the industrialists are leading the revolution. So them getting a bunch of extra clout from the coup is very unfortunate. For sure. They're upset. They'll get over it eventually. I want to check in on our radicalism. It is continuing to tick down. That's good. Afghanistan is a bit of a problem, of course, currently, but they'll get over it. I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, so this drops to 25. Cool. That's looking absolutely magnificent. What's not looking magnificent is our deficit. I was hoping that we would be out of deficit by now. Unfortunately, we have not. The armed forces would get interest group approval here, and we would just lose civil war progress. That's just good. Phenomenal. With the armed forces getting that interest group approval, that, of course, means that we can come in here, and we can see that they are currently at +2, which means that in theory... Man, that's laggy when that window's open. Which means that in theory, we can drop our military wages down to at least high military wages, but I think we can go down to medium military wages here. We'll keep an eye on it, but I think that is what that means, so we can save a decent amount of money. Man over machine, huh? Rural folk getting interest group approval and momentum added to the agriculture party? Okay, sure. Honestly, the communists are kind of doing weird things right now, so I don't necessarily mind the communists losing this, but they're going to win it, to be clear. They're absolutely going to win this election. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. We have gotten a lot of that deficit under control, of course. That's great. Radio production for electrics industries is now available. So what do we want to go for next? Well, we've got automatic bottle blowers happening right now. Compression ignition is not a bad idea. Oil turbine, we have a shortage of oil as it is. So compression ignition and oil turbine are going to be problematic for that. We may want to consider going for international exchange standards, dropping our interest rate further and increasing our minting. That's what we'll do for now. I want to check in here. What? Yeah, we still have a low innovation cap. Okay, so there's not really anything to do there. Noted. So for the moment, this appears to be going reasonably well, right? A shot in the dark. what is going on here? Losing legitimacy is not good. The coup's progress would advance by 15%, though. We'll have to do it. That's very sad. How long is that legitimacy going to be lost for? 30 months. Okay. So that puts us down into a contested government unless we were to cut taxes. Which, of course, we can't afford to do at this moment. I would like to cut taxes. That would be nice. But we simply can't afford to do it. The Waffling Revolutionary, huh? Industrialist getting +3 interest group approval would actually be really good. If that ended up happening. And I think it did. Beautiful. It was a 50-50 chance. This is now dropped down to low radicalism. And actually, that's just completely gone. The coup attempt has fizzled out as well. So democracy is saved. The armed forces lose political strength. And we can actually take a setback here. There we go. So public health insurance looks like it's going to happen now. This is actually surprising how this has come together. The coup is gone, and the public health insurance looks like it's going to happen. So paved roads being unlocked is great. And production and agitation, yes. 20% momentum to the Communist Party. We don't have an option there. That's fine. I still don't understand why the armed forces were going to coup themselves. It's a very strange decision, but whatever. So we are, of course, building a bunch of tea plantations. How are we doing on our unemployment? Actually, that number has dropped. That's good. I'm very happy to see that. Public health insurance passing would be a big boon for us. We've struggled to get that one. No doubt about that. We're fluctuating around having a surplus and a small deficit, a small surplus and small deficit. We are expecting that to trend towards becoming a surplus as we finish up these power plants in particular. Oil is expensive, and we will have to go conquer, like, Persia for that. So if we were to look at, say, some of these states here. Let's see. That's agriculture. So they don't have any oil resources here. So basically, we would be looking at pushing up into Russia, right? Potentially. That said, Transvaal wants to enter into a defensive pact with us. Who is Transvaal again? Who are you? These guys. We decline that. We'll go after them eventually, I'm sure. So for now, this is fine. We do have a free government reform. We're a 63 contested government right now, and this is actually the best we can get post-election. It's a little bit sad. But once our 30, or rather -5 goes away, we'll be at 68, and then we can drop taxes to get back up into legitimate government. So that's fine for now. Our standard of living is trending upwards, which is great. Hopefully public health insurance will pass into voting here. We only have a 37% chance of that. 31% chance of a stall, but success is the highest odds here. So we'll see how that goes. What do we got? We progress to voting. Beautiful. So that's good. We'll let that continue to be worked on. The next chance is going to be in a couple of months, so that's okay. Power plants in Kashmir. Why did this just drop to -46% construction efficiency? It definitely didn't have that until now. Maybe some sort of a integration buff after we reconquered them? I don't know. But the Ionians are trying a revolution again. I wish them luck with this. Hey, Herbert Kitchener, you want to go to Ionia again? There we go. Problem solved. So, no issues there whatsoever. We did just finish up all of those electric productions, right? So, actually, maybe it's due to infrastructure over there. Yeah, probably. That's probably what it was. So we need 3 railways there. We need 1 in Lindy as well. Otherwise, this looks reasonably fine. And of course, we have a bunch of tea plantations being worked on. So this all looks relatively fine for the moment. We do need to get our economy a little bit under control here, but we only have 40 weeks left in this construction queue. So our economy is going to be getting a lot better here once we're no longer spending 2.5 million per week on construction, right? So that's going to be a big improvement for us on that front. And we'll be able to cut taxes heavily once we're no longer constructing all of this. Which is not all that far out, to be honest. We're pretty close to getting all of that done. We'll have some construction continuing to be happening. No doubt about that. But it's going to be a lot better. So we're about to see about public health insurance, and it passes. Beautiful. That is absolutely great. And from here, of course, we want to work up our health system. We can only go to level 4. I'm a little surprised about that. It might be a tech that would need to bring us to level 5, but just dropping that mortality is going to be huge. Absolutely huge. So what else do we want to do law-wise? I don't know. This is pretty decent as of right now. Elected bureaucrats would be ideal. But we don't have the ability to do that right now. Beyond that, we're in a decent situation. I guess we could go to, like, migration controls, but I don't think that that would even really help us in any meaningful way. So I don't think that that's useful here. We want migration, after all. People are migrating to our territories, not the other way around. So this is absolutely fine. Western New Guinea is... it's not in the budget. It's going to cost 800 per week. We're not going to do that for now. We are turning a profit right now, even while fully constructing. That's a really good sign. So that's great. How many pages are we constructing at once? 7? Okay, sure. Seems fine. We're kind of chilling for the moment because our infamy is very, very high still. Automatic machine guns has been finished. Plus 20% defense. Cool. That'll be fine. Not like it's useful over here. The war is already over. It's completely irrelevant, in all honesty. So, I'm interested in shopping around for some oil. Can we change over to a map lens about resources? Turquoise deposits. Sure. But what I'm asking right now is, can we actually see any lead? Lead? Why am I asking about lead? Oil. Can we see oil? Production in states. That's GDP contribution. I want to see specifically products. I want to know if they... an easy way to tell if they have oil available here. They have sulfur. No oil here. No oil here. At least that's been discovered. Okay. We would definitely like to get ourselves some oil. No doubt about that. We might be able to get some in Africa as well. There's definitely some oil that we could get there, most likely. But ultimately, for now, I think we're completely okay. We're 20 weeks away from finishing our construction queue. 19 now. Like, we're going to be done with this really soon. Electricity is still considered slightly expensive. So I wouldn't mind building some additional power plants somewhere. Eastern Afghanistan actually seems reasonably fine. It's not low construction efficiency at this time. So let's get some 51 constructed here. There we go. That took a moment to add. And that does add 8 weeks onto our construction queue, but it's not like that's all that relevant, right? So we're completely fine with that. And of course, we're having our capitalists invest very heavily here. Our investment pool is actually still growing a little bit. We may want to consider... What is our economic system? Interventionism? I wouldn't mind moving to, like, laissez-faire or... Like, I want more private construction allocation. Not obviously going to be happening all that easily while we have the communists in control. So that's definitely awkward for us, but that is an option, theoretically. Oil discovered in the Trucial Coast. Beautiful. Hey, we can build oil rigs. We are Actually, that's quite a lot of oil rigs. We can build 19 oil rigs in the Trucial Coast. That's awesome. We're very, very glad about that. We need all the oil we can get our hands on. Low standard of living only in British Chad. Niger and Zambia are still at low market access. Okay. So let's hop over here real quick, take a look at our infrastructure. We could build another railway in Niger. Actually, yeah, that is needed. Surprisingly. And we have 2 being built in Zambia. They're probably currently in this queue. I'm going to queue up 2 additional in our queue just to make sure. There we go. So very soon now, very, very soon, we're going to be done with our resource constructions. That's going to save us a huge amount of weekly money. We're going to have idling construction, and that's okay. I'm not too concerned about idling construction at this point. We can just scale up our construction whenever we need some, right? So I'm not concerned about that at all. These oil rigs getting done in 9 weeks will be very helpful for us. We know that oil is currently considered expensive. And for the time being, we're just chilling. Letting our notoriety drop, developing our economy. We're up to 1.2 billion GDP. That's looking great. Our radicalism is continuing to drop, although it's not dropping as quickly as it has been, which is sad. But the reason for that, of course, is because we are a contested government, right? There's no doubt about that. So that's completely fine for the moment. But radicalism dropping just because we're no longer discriminating is a big deal. I say as I'm looking at Western Afghanistan's radicalism here. Yeah, that's Afghanistan for you. No shockers about that one, but it is definitely sad. 19 years on the incorporation of Afghanistan. But we're making a good amount of cash right now, paying down our debt. And once we manage to get international exchange, that is going to boost us up by a decent amount of minting, like 30,000-ish, and it'll cut our interest payments a little bit. Our interest payments are pretty cheap, so I'm not too worried about that, but it's definitely going to be a little helpful. 17 weeks currently. Kurdish people migrating from the Ottomans to our territory. See, that's why we like having our immigration open. We just get a lot of additional pops that we can put to work. We have basically no peasants at this point, about 1 million unemployed, and we can definitely work on that. So livestock ranches are finishing up. We've got a lot of arable land that we're currently eating up and no longer giving to peasants. It's to be expected. Oil rigs finishing up now. Phenomenal. And these power plants are about 10 weeks out. Our whole construction queue is only 14 weeks out at this moment. We're going to be starting to construct down over here pretty soon. I mean, we can see there's minus construction efficiency here. We don't honestly care. It's completely fine. We're almost constructing the entire queue right now. So that's absolutely great. We'll be able to consider cutting taxes substantially soon. Probably not down to here, but substantially. We'll see how that ends up going. We need more power plants. We need more oil. We do have some market access issues, specifically in Botswana right now. We can build a railway there. No problem whatsoever. And we're currently at 64.8 infamy. We should probably... Oil's been discovered in the West Indies. Can we build more oil? Yes, we can. Only 4, but even so, that will be helpful for us. We'll definitely get those underway as soon as possible, which is literally right now. Beautiful. 13 weeks away right now on our construction queue, which is odd because the railway in Botswana is 21 weeks away. But okay. Sure. That's fine for now. We do have a few more livestock ranches that are going to need to be built. We're still fully constructing, but we will be done fully constructing very, very soon. We're going to have idling construction, and that's okay. We're okay with that. That's absolutely fine. Prices are going to go kind of wonky when that happens, so that's for sure. Oil has been discovered in Chad. Encourage that trend. Oil is indeed the future. Unfortunately, we don't get any of that. We could go after, like, Wadai here, in theory. How much do they get? 3 oil rigs? That's not a lot of oil rigs. Okay. Well, that's a little sad, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to wrap up this construction queue. That's very clear. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kintogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.